Hi, I'm Peter Bois.
I'm Gus Davis.
And welcome to Monday Club, the Monday of clubs.
It is the Club of Mondays, and you are all welcome. Welcome to the club.
Boom. That was the shittiest intro. Welcome to Monday Club! Hello, all you beautiful people out there in podcasting land. My name is Peter Bois. I'm here with my amazingly looking Gus Davis today. He's never been so handsome. Cheers! In this week's episode 49, we cheers to beer and bobsleds. In the news this week, someone gets kicked off a plane for farting too much. A new segment where we make up the news. Real news sucks. A macaw gets loose in Boston. Gus has a further massage strangers, and we teach you some stuff. Welcome to Monday Club. Hey, it's Monday!
Cheers! What's up, man? I am so happy to see you this bright and, well, it's the evening of Monday, but still, I'm still happy to see you on Monday.
I am happy to see you, too. I see you're somewhere in the world in a hotel room. That's wonderful. And I'm glad that we're still hanging out on a Monday.
Yeah, as you all know, Monday Clubbers, it is so strange recording a podcast from a hotel. First of all, I have all of my podcasting stuff in this, it's a foam pack, like what you would put a camera in. So it's a hard shell case it's like a briefcase, but it's a hard shell briefcase. And it's like, I always feel so guilty walking into a hotel carrying this case. It's just like, no, I'm not a spy.
You think spies have cases like that?
I feel like they do. Like they just walk around like, ask me what's in the case. I'll
little,
kill you.
Maybe $100 bill coming out of the seam of the case.
Yeah. I should do something cool like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Anyway, if you hear me talking and I sound like I'm trying to be quiet, it's because it's like 10 o'clock at night and I'm in a hotel, so I'm trying to be cool.
You're going to get a knock on the door from security, and then Monday Club's over.
I know. It's like, this is Tuesday Club. Shut it down.
Well, this week, we are cheersing to beer and bobsleds. You found this article, Gus, about the women's Jamaican bobsled team, and they lost their sled.
Well, so let me set this thing up. Okay, so first of all, last Monday Club, you and I both agreed that we could not care less about the Winter Olympics, right?
Correct.
Well, I stand corrected because this article made me care so much about the Winter Olympics. It combined my favorite things, like people being good people and beer. So here's the way that this goes down. Days before the first female Jamaican bobsled team was set to take the world stage in the Olympics, their head coach quit. And I don't know the details of why they quit or how they quit or whatever, but the bottom line is the bobsled that they were going to use for the downhill bobsled event belonged to
Is there an uphill bobsled event?
No, but that would be badass.
Just for point, okay.
You'd get extra points on degrees of difficulty. Anyway, so the head coach quit, and it's her bobsled. She's financially responsible for it.
They were leasing their bobsled, right?
They were leasing the bobsled. And in order to get another bobsled, I mean, when I hear a bobsled, it's like, how hard could that be? You staple some skates onto a barrel and you're good, right? But apparently these things are like $50,000 bobsleds.
Damn.
So the coach quit and she took her bobsled and went home, and everyone was freaking out because this is supposed to be like the female version of Cool Runnings, right? And Red Stripe, the beer, with over social media, Red Stripe the beer sent them a text, a post, and was like, "Hey, we got you, man. It's all good."
Put the sled on our bar tab, man.
That's what they said. They said, "Put the sled on our bar tab, and we got you." And yeah, Red Stripe beer saved the Jamaican bobsled team and bought them a $50,000 sled over social media. How badass is that?
That is extremely badass, and I didn't realize how much bobsleds cost. That's insane.
Yeah, me neither. I was $5,000. That's a pretty generous gift. No, this is like they
doesn't
they
even
were
have
like,
an engine.
No, right? It's like one of those. It's like a $50,000 Flintstones car.
Yeah. You mean I have to push this and we're going downhill? What the
This is dumb.
But yeah, so amazing that they stepped up to do that. But in X's and O's here, they couldn't have bought that much goodwill and advertising for $50,000.
No. I want to go ahead and say that next week I plan on just getting a case of Red Stripe just to support them for supporting their home team. And good on them. It's like you're right. They got just as much exposure as a Super Bowl commercial, except for they did it by being awesome humans.
Yeah. You know what's weird? I just had this thought. Here's a good thing about the internet, because things go viral. So instead of spending money on traditional advertising, it almost seems like these companies have goodwill budgets, right? So they, instead of advertising conventionally, when some shit hits the fan somewhere, they dig into that wallet and they spend it there, and then those stories go viral, and they're getting so much good press and advertising from that anyways. It seems like the new way to advertise is to do good deeds, like Anheuser-Busch sending cans of water to Houston and all the places affected by natural disasters.
Right. Well, and man, so we're jumping into some serious stuff right now, but like how it's such an interesting change, because everyone has access to everything at all times through being able to order it online or whatever. Really, the best chance that corporations have is that people are brand loyal because they feel like their purchase, their dollar, is voting for how they feel socially, right? For their social consciousness. So yeah, seeing Anheuser-Busch bottle up, switch the beer to water and send that as hurricane relief, or seeing Red Stripe say, hey, look, we got your back because you guys are representing our country. Like, seeing those kind of moves, like you said, because they go viral, it does. It kind of makes you feel like, oh, well, I'm supporting the home team now, instead of, hey, I got a billion choices for what I'm going to drink tonight.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm super pumped. Did they win the gold?
Oh God,
Did you
no!
follow up with that?
No.
In Cool Runnings, they didn't win, but they had a really good heartfelt ending to that story.
Right. And the dude broke his egg, and that was sad.
My egg. That was the best
No,
movie
I don't
ever.
think that they won. And again, whoever was in charge of this Red Stripe stepping up to the plate, like how brilliant on your part. It doesn't matter if they win or lose. You come off looking like you're a badass, not only for the world stage, but for everyone in Jamaica, like, are super proud of that company now.
Yeah.
Right? Like
And they're saving them money, too, in the long run, because they never have to lease a sled for a while. I mean, how many miles can you put on a bobsled before you need to trade it up? What do you get, like 20 miles before you need a new sled?
I don't know. I always wondered how they train for that in Jamaica, because they got no snow or
Dude,
ice.
you saw Cool Runnings? They have a wooden box on wheels, and they run down. They go down a hill.
Anyway, Red Stripe, we think you're brilliant for what you did, and also the move that you did to support the women's bobsled team in the downhill. You guys make us look like selfish pricks. So here's to you, Red Stripe. Cheers, man.
Cheers, and a double cheers to the women's Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah.
With that, cheers. Red Stripe, you actually earned some of your $50,000 back today, because I stopped at the grocery store and picked up. I was going to pick up a 6-pack, but they were only selling 12 packs of Red Stripe, so I picked up a 12er of Red Stripe, and that is what I'm drinking today. So it's delicious. I never pick it up. I never drink it. But it's really good beer. It's just
Yeah, it is. It's a good beer.
Just a chill, fun, good beer.
Monday Clubbers, here's the thing. I quite literally have been driving from... Here's my travel schedule. I went from Austin, driving to Illinois, just south of Chicago, did a show there, turned around, drove by myself from Illinois down to Tampa, Florida, did a show there, turned around, and drove up to Philadelphia, and I checked into my hotel about 15 minutes before Pete and I started recording this podcast. So I tried to stop and grab a beverage on my way in, and it just wasn't meant to be. So I'm drinking water today, and I hope you forgive me, Monday Club.
On behalf of Monday Club, Gus, we forgive you because if you stopped, we wouldn't have a Monday Club this week. So.
That's true. I did my part.
Really tried. I'll just drink an extra one for you tonight. How's that sound?
Yeah, man.
It's the Red Stripe, man.
It's beer! Hooray, beer!
Thank you guys so much for listening to our crazy antics on Mondays and being a Monday Club warriors and partiers that you are. We love you all. Make sure you're telling people about the show. We want to grow the club. We will be getting out membership cards shortly, so look for yours in your mailbox. The podcast is available on Spotify and YouTube. Sometimes we upload some videos, so check that out. And make sure you're giving us a little love up on iTunes. If you want to buy us a drink or a Red Stripe or 12, you can PayPal us money at mondayclubpodcast@gmail.com. And mondayclubpodcast.com is where you find everything else about what we're doing. So we'll see you up there.
I haven't given away a free drink in a couple of episodes because the Dirty Little Football quiz ended, but I want to give out a free drink this week. So here's the way I'm going to do it. If you are the first person to post a screen capture of you texting a friend with telling them about Monday Club and telling them that they should listen to Monday Club, you send me a screen capture of that on any of our social media platforms, or you can text or IM me, and the first person to do that, I'll send you a free drink. How about that?
Oh, yes! Free drinks! That sounds wonderful.
Does it work? Bribe you to get the word out for us.
Is this open to me?
Pete just texted me.
I just texted Gus. You should check out this new podcast.
Doesn't count, bro. Doesn't count.
So you are looking very handsome today, sir. I might say also that I've never seen you looking so handsome in my entire life. There's a glow about you tonight.
Pete, let me tell you that this whole Dirty Little Football quiz and the football bet that you and I made almost, I don't like 6 months ago, has turned out to suck so much harder than you can possibly imagine. Because this morning I knew that I was gonna. My morning I woke up I was in just outside of Richmond, Virginia, and I got ready. And I knew it was going to be cutting it close so that we could record. So I put on the shirt. I'm wearing my New England Patriots championship shirt from last year. Oh,
hell yeah.
Right? And I put it on. I got ready. I got in the car. I literally drove straight here. I got stuck in D.C. traffic and in Baltimore traffic. I got here. I got out. I got to check into my hotel. And as I'm getting out of my car, do you know what I realized?
Nope.
I realized that I'm wearing a goddamn Patriot shirt while I'm in Philadelphia.
Oh, my God. You're going to get your ass kicked.
Oh, I got all the dirty looks when I got out of my car, bro. I got out of my car and went to go check in, and people were just like, mm-mm. In fact, the hotel room that I'm in, it's like bottom floor. The pipes are kind of messed up in here. I'm like, I think that they were just like, oh, put that guy in the crap room.
You got the hot wire room.
That's right.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. Well, way to be loud and proud with your Super Bowl T-shirt.
Well, you're welcome.
I had made a bet one year when the Patriots lost to the Giants against my brother-in-law. He's a huge Giants fan. And the bet was that I had to put a Giants bumper sticker on my car for a year if the Patriots lost, and vice versa. And so I had to drive around New England and Maine and Boston. I was living in Maine at the time, but I drive through Boston a lot. Right. And with a freaking Giants championship decal on my bumper. It was terrible.
Did anything ever happen to your car?
No, actually, I did take it off when I had to park in Boston. It was a magnet.
Oh, okay.
I'm not actually going to put a sticker on my car, the Giants. Kidding me? I'd have to sell my car.
You paid extra so it was removable. That's smart, man. That's smart. Well, so Pete, I need you to say it out loud. Is bet complete?
Bet is hereby complete. You have gone above and beyond the call of duty and the spirit of the bet. So well done.
Thanks, man. Did you see my post about it when right after you and I got off of our last recording? I realized I was leaving in like a day and a half, and so I had to get this shirt overnighted to my house before I left. So anyway, yeah, good.
It was worth it.
I feel like it was, and especially that moment where I realized getting out of my car that I was like, "Oh, I'm actually in Philadelphia." Wow.
Are you by the airport?
Yeah, I'm right by the airport.
Are you at a Best Western?
It's right next to me. I'm at the La Quinta.
Oh, I always stay at that Best Western right by the school there. What's that school? Yeah. And there's a Pizzeria Uno's right across the street.
Yeah,
and there's a 7-Eleven.
I was at that 7-Eleven, and there's a diner right next to me that I think I'm going to probably go eat lunch at. Yeah. That
7-Eleven gets sketch balls around midnight. So
it was pretty sketch when I went there, and it was sketch. And not only was it sketch, but they don't serve beer there, which was I stopped to I had to use the bathroom there, and there's no beer.
Last time I was there, I was being all healthy, and I was purchasing a banana for a snack, and the guy tried to get me to buy a whole freaking pie. I was like,
what?
Look, I'm trying to be healthy. So I bought a second banana.
That's funny. So, man, what else? So we'll post this on our notes too, but I sent you a thing about an update on virtual reality. Did you get that?
I saw the headline and I refused to watch it.
So I don't know if you guys remember Monday Clubbers, but a few months ago we had Dan Martin on the show, and if you haven't listened to that, you should totally listen to that and go check out Dan Martin. Is it DanielMartinMagic.com, I believe?
Sure.
Or martinmagic.com, and not the bicyclist guy.
He does not ride a bicycle.
He does not ride a bicycle. Anyway, one of the things we were talking about on that episode is virtual reality, and I was talking about how virtual reality will change the way we watch movies and how it'll be an interactive experience. And I was talking specifically about the movie The Ring and how scary it would be if you were watching that movie and all of a sudden in full-on, not just 3D, but in full-on virtual reality or augmented reality, that ring chick just walks out of your TV and stands in your living room. Well, somebody actually made that and posted a video of that experience, and it's hilarious because it's in... some of the comments are like, it looks like it's on a PS2, and it does. It does not look realistic. It looks like pixelated, like, old school Tomb Raider or something like that. But what I can't stress hard enough is that the experience is the exact same, whether it's in HD or in really crappy digital format, because your brain just accepts that what's happening is the actual reality, whether it looks real or not. And so I'll post that link, and you guys should all check that out. James Caldwell sent that to me, and shout out to you, James, because I watched that probably 50 times in a row just thinking to myself, oh, my God, that is terrifying.
I did, going back on my word, I did watch it once. And yeah, I hope, I don't think I could ever watch a AR, VR horror movie. I mean, I can't even watch regular horror movies. What am I kidding?
I've been to haunted houses with Pete, and he's not joking. He can't do it.
I do haunted houses, which is weird, but I barely do that.
Yeah, I couldn't be in my own house and like look at a mirror and in augmented reality have some crazy looking demon thing look back at me at the mirror. Like that is nope. Sorry.
The future is here. The Ring is coming for you.
Yeah, no joke. Anyway, y'all should all watch that. Don't be a sissy. It's worth watching, and it's you just got to trust me. It is. It's like looking at it, you're like, oh, that's like the cartoon version of The Ring. But if you were the one standing in your house and that's what came out of your TV, it would freak your shit.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, there's a Black Panther just dropped this past week, and I've been meaning to go see it. I just haven't had the time. You see it yet?
Yeah, man. So, like I said, I've been on the road for about 6 days straight now, and Shannon had a night off, and she was like, I guess it was on Sunday, and she's like, hey, let's go on a virtual date. And I was like, cool. So I got us tickets to different theaters in different states in different time zones, but that matched up to about the same time. And so we went to go see it together, but like in separate states. And so, man, it is so good. It is so freaking good, and it's good for so many reasons. It is like all of the social messages that they're trying to get across in that movie are some deep and painful messages, and I think Marvel does a great job handling those. But they also do one of my favorite things, which is the bad guy in that movie.
Oh, don't give anything away.
No, I won't give anything away.
Okay.
But the bad guy in that movie is my favorite kind of bad guy because the way he sees the world is correct from his point of view. And so it's not like in stupid Justice League where there's like just some bad guy who's bad for, no reason and like swinging a cartoon hammer or something like that. I mean, this bad guy, he genuinely believes that his experiences entitle him to do the things that he does, and from his point of view, he's absolutely right. So, anyway, check it out. It is it gets the full-on seal of approval from Gus, and it has, besides being a badass action Marvel movie, it has some really, really good social messages that it puts out there. Also, stay to the very, very end. There are 2 extra scenes in that movie, so stay through the credits.
Oh, I can't wait. Maybe I'll go this weekend.
Yeah, you should. It is crushing it at the box offices right now.
It was like $200 million for the first weekend. That's insane.
Yeah, maybe more than that. Man, so that movie has a lot of hype because it has a lot of black actors in it, and one of the things that is I saw that was so interesting is no movie of that caliber making that kind of money has been out starring an all-black cast since Sidney Poitier was around. And it's like, man,
really?
that's like some deep stuff right there, man. Like that's some long time in coming. So yeah, they did a great job, and kudos to Marvel. I won't say anything that's going to give the movie away, but it is excellent. So go check it out.
Nice. I will do that. I will take your advice, and I'm going to go give some money to Marvel because they always take my money.
They always get my money, yeah.
But I'm never disappointed. It's only when DC takes my money I'm disappointed.
That's true, man. DC, I think DC's done. I don't think that they're going to do another DC movie in that universe. Like, I'd be surprised if they did.
Yeah, they would have to. I don't know what they could do to change it. They already screwed the pooch. There's I don't know if they can recover. They'd have to wait 5 years at least and then just start it over again.
But how many reboots are we willing to do? Like,
well, look at Batman. How many Batman reboots are there? Like 10?
I mean, I guess, but not so like close together. Like there was Superman Returns, and then the new Superman, and then the other Superman guy, and then now Batfleck, and then it just seems like they've just tried to. I don't know. It seems like they've just tried so hard to make it work, and they just haven't figured out the magic yet.
Nope. They should hire some from Marvel.
Yeah, they should.
Hey, we got another segment.
This week in the news.
Boom.
God, that's great.
That's so good. You have
Yeah.
such a good news voice. You could be a news anchor. You're like, this week in the news. See,
I'll apply. Actually, so quick, complete weird tangent, okay? One of the... You know how you don't know things? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, like, you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
And
it's called
Shannon...
ignorance, I think.
Yeah, ignorance, sure. Yeah. So Shannon told me a story one time that just cracked my shit up. But she was like, when she was in college, she was a poor, starving college student, right? And she was going to church at the time. And she, after a service, she walked up to the priest and she was like, "Hey, just so you know," like she shopped her application to the priest. She was like, "Hey, just so you know, I'm really good at standing up on stage and telling people stuff. So I mean, if you ever want to take a break or a night off or something like that, like, you know, I could do your job."
She really did that?
Yeah. She's like, I mean, how hard could that be? You get up there, you say some words, you make people clap, and then you get off stage. It's great.
It's about as hard as being a magician.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, I died laughing, and she's like, "Look, I mean, later on, I realized that apparently you have to go to seminary school or something like that. But at the time, I was like, how hard is that? I could do that."
That's funny. Speaking of priests, this is this article I found. This is the headline: Passenger drops farts so putrid, pilot is forced to make an emergency landing. What? Some guy can't control his flatulence and they have to land? That sounds insane.
God.
Did you read it?
Yeah, I read the article, and the article gets it's not
a little bit
just
clickbait. It's a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little bit clickbait because that's what starts the whole thing. It starts off by some dude just letting it rip as loud and as putrid as he wants to, and the two guys sitting on the opposite sides of this guy apparently are just like, "What are you doing? Like that's disgusting and it's vile," and that starts basically just an argument and a confrontation back and forth. Eventually, the flight attendants get called, and then is there a brawl? Like, do they actually start fighting?
I think they start getting close to it. I don't think they actually do, but I feel so. Yeah, so I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
No.
The rest of the summation.
Well, and then I guess because there was almost an altercation, or there was some sort of altercation, the captain turns around and lands the plane, and then ejects everybody in that row. The fart guy, the other two guys, and and I think there were two other people that were in the long. On that same aisle that just got ejected from the plane. And those people are suing. They're like, "We had nothing to do with this. We were on our way back from a conference. We just, we had nothing to do with it at all." And apparently the captain's just like, "Nope, everybody in 16, row 16, you guys are out."
That's freaking crazy. I feel so bad for the guy farting because, like, he can't help it. I mean, the guys that got upset with him, what is he supposed to do? You can't hold in farts, right? It's impossible to hold in farts. If you have an issue, there's no way you can stop it. You can't just. It's not like a sneeze where you could just close your nose and it might go away. Like they were literally going to get in a fight over this with this guy because he couldn't stop a fart. If anyone can stop a fart on a flight for hours, you have a really strong sphincter.
Yeah, I guess you do. It's on the one hand, man, it's like you should try really hard not to just blow up the plane with your. Well, that's a poor choice of words. You should try really hard not to fart up the plane, especially on an airplane that just recycles that fart for everyone to breathe for the rest of the flight. It's just going back and forth, just through everybody's nostrils. On the other hand, the air pressure in airplanes usually makes you have to fart. I mean, it just...
Oh, really?
It does.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah, science. I once got crop dusted hard by the flight attendant, and she knew she was crop dusting everybody. She's just like doop 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 doop, and just like farting all the way down the aisle. It was but what are you gonna do?
Yeah. Maybe finally take that shit and then say stop farting.
I hate airplane bathrooms. I just abhor airplane bathrooms. I don't fit in them comfortably. I don't trust that. Like when I'm in an airplane bathroom, I have this secret fear that it's like a trap door and it's just going to open up and just drop me and I'm going to fall to my death in an airplane bathroom because you can hear the outside so much clearer when you're in the bathroom on an airplane. And I don't know, it really makes me aware of the very thin wall between me and certain death when I'm in there.
Well, that's in the news. Now it's time. This week, we make up the news. I mean, that was pretty entertaining news, but I think we can do better. Are you ready?
Yeah, so explain what's about to happen.
So I have gone through, I find regular news very boring. So I went through news feeds and I found headlines to real articles that are out there, published articles on the internets, and I wrote them down, interesting ones that I thought would be interesting, and I will I can't talk tonight. I will tell them to Gus, and then he's going to elaborate on what this article is about. And he's never read the article. He doesn't know what headline is coming up, so everything is coming out of his noggin, fresh and impromptu, improvisational comedy at its finest.
All right, no pressure.
Was that a long-winded explanation, or
no? It was great.
Yeah,
I think you hit all the highlights.
All right, good. All right, headline: the 2 words that will get you an upgrade to first class.
Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. There are all kinds of secret societies that are out there, from the Illuminati to the Breakfast Club, all of the underground societies that you've just barely heard of because they're on the fringe. If you are lucky enough to find a captain that is wearing a blue hat on a Southwest Airlines, not on a Southwest Airlines flight, on any other flight besides Southwest Airlines, because Southwest doesn't have first class. So on any other flight like United or American, and they're wearing a blue hat with a very, very important that they're wearing a pink button in that hat, like it'll be on the left-hand side. You got to get really close to see it. But if you find a blue hat with a pink button, go up to them and say, "Nice balls." And they'll put you in first class. 2 words. Nice balls.
I'm writing this down. Headline: whatever happened to Brendan Fraser?
Brandon Fraser is on True Hollywood Stories last week because his performance in The Mummy was so convincing and so good that basically the Actors Guild got together and made him swear a blood oath that he would never, ever act again, on pain of them chopping off his hands, his feet, his nose, his ears, so that he's already done his masterpiece. He's been referred to as the acting Da Vinci of our time by the Screen Actors Guild, just from his performance in The Mummy.
Damn.
And The Mummy Returns.
I'm glad that question has been answered finally. Yeah, I'm glad you added that returns in. That was key.
Well, it's got to be accurate.
Yeah, this is all a very, very factual news here.
Very factual.
If your website doesn't have this one thing on every page, customers will click away.
Boobs.
That's exactly why I don't surf the regular internet. Macy Williams, she plays the younger Stark girl on Game of Thrones. Macy Williams claims she knows how Game of Thrones ends.
Game of Thrones has been made into a Monopoly board game. And so you can play Game of Thrones. You can game the Game of Thrones to the point where by the time you finish the game that you're playing the Game of Thrones, You're the gamiest game winner of Game of Thrones, playing the Game of Thrones, playing Monopoly, the game with thrones.
That's so meta. You heard it here. If you get hotels on Boardwalk and Park Place, you win the Game of Thrones.
That's right. Wouldn't that suck if that was actually the way that Game of Thrones ends? It's like somebody just sits up and it was all a dream, or they were like, and I have all of the hotels on Broadway.
Oh, that would be so not satisfying at all. All right, here's our last headline.
All right.
Headline: The secret to great sex is on your phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, throughout time, people have always claimed that they have the secret to great sex, from tantric yoga to the Karma Sutra to Willie Mays and all of his as seen on TV products. The fact is, people, that there is only one secret, and that secret can be found on your phone. And all you have to do is look down at your finger while you're unlocking your home button and realize that the power is within you the whole time.
I was drooling. I thought you had a good one. That was too good. Oh, so what you're telling me is that you have to use your thumb a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you heard it here. The secret to great
true,
sex,
because it's in the news,
is, and that was, this week we make up the news. I just want an excuse to play that again.
it's really good.
Yeah. All right, we should move on then.
Hey, it's time for Stories from the Road.
All right, so I've been on the road a little bit, actually only an hour and a half away in my neighboring amazing city called Boston, Massachusetts. And there's a 4-day booking conference there where I got to meet people and try to convince them I'm worth their money. And it was cool because I got to see like all my friends, all my like greatest. Oh, Gus was not there.
So sad.
Oh,
so sad.
We had an epic meetup planned. If Gus was going to be there, we were going to do a live Monday Club or something, but it didn't work out because Gus is actually making money. So good on you. You're actually on the road making money. I was trying to make money. You have accomplished the goal, and
you'll get there someday.
Thanks, man. But it was a good conference, and I got to see a bunch of friends, and we did some cool stuff. We went to Down East Cider. Now, I'm not a huge cider, hard alcohol cider, not hard alcohol, hard cider fan, but this place was awesome. It was in East Boston. And they're only open for walk-ins on the weekends. And you walk in, you show your ID, and they give you 5 tickets. And they cannot sell you, they can't serve you and sell you alcohol there, whatever the permitting process is, right? They can only sell it growlers and cans of their product there, so they cannot actually serve you, but they have a full bar of their cider, and you get 5 tickets, and you go up to the bar and you just give them a ticket, and they give you a free, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 ounce taster of their cider. So me, Eric Diddleman, Dan Martin, and Bernie were all at this cider place drinking amazing, delicious, sweet, hard cider for free, and it was amazing and really delicious.
God, I'm watching your face while you're telling the story, and it makes me so angry because you look like you had so much fun.
Oh, it was a good time. The reason why we went there is because Dan Martin is a big cider fan, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. Because he was really set on going, and I'm like, why are we going here? And he's just like, I like cider. I'm like, that's good enough reason for me.
yeah. Did they do, I guess because you got the tasters, you still sort of, it's like having a beer flight, right?
Yeah. But you
Yeah.
order like one at a time, and you have to put your empty glass on the counter, so they'll give you another one. And I may or may not have miser dreamed my ticket a few times.
That's awesome.
That is an inside magician thing there.
You've got to be an insider.
Insider.
All right. I saw a lot of the pictures that came out of this conference, and a lot of the friends that for all of the friends that I missed at this conference. I hope you got my virtual hugs, and thanks for living vicariously so I could have a life. Basically, I was just driving. I drove Austin to Illinois, from Illinois down to Tampa, Florida, and from Tampa, Florida up to not Pittsburgh, to Philadelphia. And if you can ever avoid doing that drive in your life, you should really try, because it was awful. So while you were drinking and partying and having a good time and saying hi, I was stuck in traffic in D.C.
I'm sorry to hear that, Gus, but they had pineapple, like apple cider. It was like Aloha cider. It was so sweet and delicious. They had coffee, this coffee flavored cider. It was delicious. They had this double cider that was just cider but more alcohol, which was delicious. Cranberry cider. Oh my God, so many different flavors. I'm just trying to make you more jealous.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job. Here's my small little alcohol story. So I've been homeless for 6 days. And so I'll usually get to a hotel in the evening, like after dark, and I am done being in the car. Like, I don't want to drive anywhere else. So I've been walking my modus operandi. I've been walking from the hotel to a gas station, getting either gas station food or fast food that's near the gas station, and getting one of those tall boy beers, like the 32-ounce beers, the big bullet cans, which they always give me a paper bag for, which makes me feel real good walking back to my hotel with a paper bag full of beer, right?
It's essentially a 40.
It's essentially a 40. It's like the 40 light.
Yeah.
and so I've been walking around with my my little ghetto koozie and my 40 light, and then hanging out outside of the hotels, smoking a cigar, getting ready for bed, basically. And so while you're having all these fancy drinks, I'm drinking beer out of a paper bag. But the other night I was hanging out. There was a little bench by the hotel, and I was having my beer and my cigar, and I look over, and I'm in a weird like spotlight, like there's a street lamp right over the bench that I'm on, which makes me look even more homeless. Like I should just have my phone playing like the "Suicide is Painless" like song on my phone.
Just
right?
take one shoe off, put it in your backpack.
That's right. Have my bindle and my stick next to me. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm drinking and I'm having my cigar, and I look over, and this older couple is in their car, and they pull forward in the parking lot. And then I think what they're trying to do is back into a space, but instead of backing into a space, they back right into a car that's parked right there. And I mean, I can hear the crunch from where I'm at. And they look up, and they just see me with my judging eyes and my cigar and my beer. Like this right there. And then I think they get awkward and nervous, so that they do I don't know, 6 or 7 more point turns before they can go away. Anyway, I'm sitting out there and I'm like, well, what do I do in this situation? I mean, I guess I check on the car and make sure it's okay, and if it's not, then I go inside and report them. I don't know. And while I'm having this conversation with myself, one of the people that was in that car comes and checks on the car, and then looks over at me and gives me a thumbs up, and then walks inside. I'm like, all right.
Reminds me of the guy who stole the wallet and was cheers of the week. And then he sees a camera looking at him. He's like, no,
it's good.
I'm just kidding. I'm going to put the wallet back. What else we went to an escape room in Boston, which was awesome. We had a 10 people escape game going at Trapology in Boston, and it was a really good room. It was a 3-room in a tunnel escape room.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we had a party of 10, and we got split up into 2 teams, and we each got put in different rooms, and then you had to figure out the puzzle, the clues to open the secret passageway to find each other, and then you can combine your forces, and you had clues in different rooms that would help each other out to get to there. And then there was a locked room you had to get into, and I had to throw this cool little hook with a cord on it and pull this basket towards the door to get clues out of this. It was a badass escape room.
Dude, that sounds cool. Dude, did you have Diddleman on your team?
Yeah, Diddleman was yes, he was in my room.
Yeah, was he a beast like I imagine that he always is?
Oh yeah. I had I was like, we could lose, but we're not gonna. we have a secret weapon here. But actually, pretty much everybody contributed too. Everyone found something or figured something out that contributed to the team's success. Obviously there were some leaders, but.
You said you had 10 people on this thing. Were there some people that y'all didn't know, or was it everybody that you knew?
All friends, all people. We bought up the entire room. Well, we found a time slot in a room that wasn't taken by anyone, and we bought tickets and then immediately texted, "Quick, buy tickets before anyone else gets in here."
Dude, so I heard that this room has a 25% success rate of people getting out of it. Like that's a tough room.
Yeah, and we made it with about 8.5 minutes to spare or something like that. So, and we only got 1 clue. The second, we technically got 2, but I had figured out the second one by the time before he started saying the second clue that we asked for. So technically, we only really used 1 clue to get out. And 25%, yeah, we're in the top 25%. What?
Yeah, you are. Well, hey, I'm going to raise my faux glass to you, sir, because that is a cool experience right there.
Yeah, that was fun. And then, last thing that happened. The very last, now at these conferences, you can go showcase, so you can show your stuff on stage in front of everybody. And the last one was going on, and there was a magician that lost his bird. Or he didn't lose his bird. It flew up into the lighting, into the rafters of this big room, and it was a macaw. It was his last trick. He made this big macaw appear. Now, I wasn't in the room, so I didn't see it, but this is the story on the street.
Okay.
The big macaw appeared, and then, because he was over time, they shut his sound off or lights off, so the macaw got confused, and he flew up into the ceiling of the rafters, and he just stayed up there. And they I don't know why they did this. The bird would have been fine, right? He was just chilling up there, but they evacuated the entire room of a couple thousand college students.
Yeah.
And they, I don't know, got a cherry picker and got it down or something. So it was like 40-minute intermission. Trying to get
so can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I wasn't there. I was once again driving and not at all of these fun things. But I've heard about this from a bunch of different people, and there's a couple things. One, that his time was over. This magician's time was over, but he was like, no, but this last trick is really cool. And so he did his macaw trick, and but then they shut off the lights. It got confused and it went up to the rafters, and then the guy was like, well, I've got to get my bird back. And I've heard a couple of people say, I mean, the bird would have been fine. We could have done it without it. I agree with that statement. But I also think that if you're the next act, it is unfair for there to be a bird on the rafters where no one's going to pay attention to the act that you're showing, because everybody's going to be looking up and wondering what's up with this bird that's up there.
True.
Right?
True. So, and it could have dive bombed in the middle of someone's set.
It could have. Or it could have pooped and landed on the stage, or it could have just flapped, and all of the attention would have gone up to the bird instead of to the person who paid to be on the stage. So I totally agree with the idea of they had to get the bird down. I also know that showcase went like 40 minutes long, 45 minutes long, and I can't even imagine the union labor, like the extra money for union labor that they had to pay for. I mean, that's thousands of dollars extra because this person went over time and his bird got confused or whatever. So I think that's an unfortunate thing for your act to go like that. I think that probably you shouldn't have done that last trick, and definitely if the conference decided to have you foot the bill for all of the extra labor, I think that would be on you.
Yeah, that would be insane. I would not want to be in that scenario.
No, definitely
and that's
not.
the thing. I mean, everybody knows you have this specific time to hit, and if you don't, they're going to start cutting things off.
Yep.
You know, I mean, you've known that for a while. We're all professionals.
That's part of the agreement.
Yeah.
That's right. Be good at your job.
Yeah.
And, sorry that's how it went, certainly. But I also think you need to be on it. You need to be respectful, and you do have to get if our showcase was going on next, I would just straight up tell the conference, hey, we can't go out there until the jungle is put away. Right? It's not fair to us.
Yeah.
So
no, but it made for an interesting and fun final night.
I'm sure. Nothing like a train wreck to bring everyone together.
Yeah. When I used to work with birds and I do shows, sometimes you do them in gyms. I remember on a couple occasions my bird would fly up into the rafters of the gym and just sit up there the entire show, and every once in a while he'd fly and all the kids would be like, "Ooh," and that would have been real annoying if it wasn't my bird.
Yeah, I used to use birds too, and man, I've had so many things go wrong with those birds,
dying
in the middle of a show. That's always awkward. I've had a bird I used to, you clip one of their wings so it can't fly away.
Yeah.
And so I'd clip its wings, but somehow it would still be able to get air, and it would fly up into the tree or into the ceiling fan of somebody's house or something like that. It's God damn it, bird.
Oh, man. So that's the end of my tales from the road.
Yeah.
Besides being homeless on the side of the road, smoking a cigar, watching accidents happen, and being eyewitness.
With my paper bag.
It's your paper bag. The cops got to be there's got to be some homeless guy around here that saw this happen.
Shoeless Gus sitting on the corner. He's got it. I don't know if I told you last time, but my back has been hurt for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I reheard it on the very first day of this tour, and it got so bad that I quite literally could not sit down on the toilet without being in agony because of my back. And so I went and I got a back brace, and I've been taking all these pain pills, and over the last 4 days it's been getting a lot better. And I basically at all my shows I've been like, all right, everybody here gets to help set up. and people have been really cool about it. So, but today I got up early and went to my plan was to get a massage. I was like, I need to just get a massage and have somebody just work out all the knots that are in my back. And I went to my fingernails and toenails have also been all jacked up. I think because I started this tour off and it snowed on me, and then 3 days later I'm down with palm trees and my feet dangling in the pool, and now I'm back up. Anyway, I don't know what's up with my skin, but I went and I got a mani-pedi, and then I was like, okay, well the same place that does nails says that they do massages. And so I was like, hey, can I get a massage too? And they're like, yeah, totally. 60-minute massage is $60. And I was like, oh, that's very reasonable. Yeah.
That's a deal.
So, after they did my fingers and toes, they took me into the back creepy room, and it was the same chick who had done my fingers and toes. And I was like, oh, I didn't know you do massage. And she's like, yeah, I give you massage. It's like, I don't know. This is already starting to feel a little sketch. And so I go into their little back closet room, and she turns on the light, and there's no bed or massage bed or anything like that in there. There's just a a chair, like a really old and busted massage chair that's kind of in the corner. And so she puts like this towel over the face thing, is like, all right, take off your shirt and have a seat right here. I was like, I don't know about that. so I do, and
does it come with a tetanus shot?
Man, so it's too small for me to start off with. So, like, they don't adjust it at all. And so it's hurting my back worse just to sit in this really small massage chair. And then she proceeds to try to give me a massage, but, like, she doesn't know how to give massages. She gives the same massage on my back that she does when she's, like, putting lotion on my hands. And so she's just, like, limp-wristed, like, small fish just barely touching me. And I'm like, oh, this is some bullshit. Plus, she poured, like, a gallon of KY jelly on me to do this crappy massage. And so anyway, I'm sitting there and I'm hating life because my back is hurting and stuff like that. And then she says, hey, do you get massages often? And I was like, I mean, you know, I try to whenever I can. She's like, oh, you should go to DC to get a massage. It's like, okay. And she's like, yeah, they've got real young Korean girls there. They give you real good massage. They're very pretty. And I quite literally was like, you know what? I think I've had enough of a massage. It's my back. Can we just stop now? And then I hurt her feelings because she was like, oh, you don't like massage? I was like, no, I like massages, but my my back really hurts, and I don't think this is working out. And so she gets a hot towel, and she just basically just starts slapping me with this hot towel to like try to wipe up all of this goo shit that she'd poured on me. Meanwhile, it's like embarrassing as shit, right? Like I'm in a storage closet getting my ass kicked with a wet towel. Like in the back room, right? And I'm like, yeah, this is shady. And so finally, she's like, all right, well, we're done. I was like, all right, that's cool. So I still didn't get a massage, and that's my fault. I should have known better than trying to get a massage from that place.
That's crazy. The only thing that would have made it weirder if there were other guys in the same room.
So funny you say that. There wasn't anyone else in the room. It was a very small, like, closet area. But, she had me take my shirt off, and then she opens the door when I'm trying to put my shirt back on and just leaves the door open. So I'm standing there with my shirt off in front of a nail salon. So there's all these like chicks that are like trying to get their nails done. And I'm like, I'm covered in butter or whatever she put on me. I'm just like,
at least you weren't
awful.
Zipping up your pants or something.
That's true.
Oh my God. So did you go to DC and see all the pretty Korean chicks?
No, man. I was trying to make Monday Club. I'm a professional.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's so sketchy that she would recommend another massage parlor because there's young Korean pretty girls.
Super sketch, and it made me super awkward. Like, I was just like, nope, I'm hitting the big red eject button right now.
He's like, I'm just homeless. I'm not a pervert.
Right. I know I don't look like it, but I'm actually not homeless.
Oh, man. I love your massage stories. Go to more sketchy massage parlors.
I don't know, man. I think any shadier than that, and it does come with a free tetanus shot.
Oh, man. Teachable moments. Yeah, there's a bonus one. Go to DC for hot Korean chicks.
You heard it here on Monday Club.
My teachable moment this week is eBay is great. I didn't know this until I started buying some stuff recently on eBay, but apparently some buyers or sellers put the option on their item that you can make an offer on it, and that's freaking cool. So if you didn't know this, check it out and look for whatever you want to buy and see if there's a make an offer button. If they're trying to sell it for $50, lowball them. See what you can get. I got a $100 item for like $70 or $75. So, I started off with a $50 offer, and then they came back at me. We figured it out. So it was just basically negotiating online. It was like it was a very pleasant experience, and I made an offer on another item, the same item from a different seller, and they came back. So there was a $100 item. I offered $50 on both sellers for the same item. One came back with a an offer of $90, and the other came back with an offer of $75. So I just accepted the $75 and moved on with my life, and it was a great day.
Oh, that's cool. So you've been digitally haggling.
Yeah, it's a digital haggle. It's great. You don't even have to have like skills at it. You just it's numbers.
I wish I had a good teachable moment for this episode, but my best teachable moment is that my back was killing me, and I went into a drugstore, and I got a back brace, like I said, but I also got some roll-on Icy Hot. I got some roll-on Icy Hot, and it has been awesome. I'm using it all the time now, not just on my back, but on my shoulders and stuff like that, because it rolls on, and then it doesn't make a sticky mess or get your fingers all jacked up or make it where you touch your eyes and you want to kill yourself. So roll-on Icy Hot, you should check that out if you ever have any aches and pains, because it's the shit.
I did not know they made roll-on Icy Hot.
I didn't either, and I know that sounds like some old people stuff,
Whoa.
but I'm telling you, people, it's really good.
You know, I have those heat packs that you can they heat up by themselves.
Yeah.
I have some in my car. You just, in case I ever have a bad neck, I just pull one out, stick it to my neck, and it heats up and loosens it up. There's some.
Oh, it's nice. I was using the Icy Hot, like they make these giant pads that are adhesive that stick to you.
Yeah.
But I think I got the pack that was made out of super glue, because it took me like 5 minutes to get one of those things off, and I really thought it was going to take my entire outer skin layer off.
It's a 2-for-1.
Never again.
It's a waxer and and an Icy Hot patch.
It's true. It's true.
Well, that was episode 49 of Monday Club. 49. Almost halfway to 100.
I'm so excited for next episode. We're going to do next episode big.
That sounds wonderful. And we're going to be posting a picture of Gus in his Patriot shirt, so look out for that. It's going to be the best picture of all time.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Oh, thank you guys so much for being part of Monday Club. Check us out, MondayClubPodcast.com, Facebook.com/Monday Club Podcast. We're on Twitter, Monday Club Pod, Instagram, Monday Club Podcast, and email us questions, comments, concerns. Buy us some beer. Buy a 40 and a brown paper bag for us. MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. Thanks to James Caldwell, our sound engineer, and Zach Holder for our awesome music. Go out there and kick this Monday's ass.